What is up, guys? Welcome to my 2025 gear guide for BDO. I'm sure that there will be multiple of these this year, but this is the first one of the year. Deadeye is out. We have deck Tuvala now, and all kinds of things have changed since the last gear guide. So you're going to want to watch this one instead of the old one. I'll make sure that that one looks outdated. We're going to show you how to go from zero to hero. No matter where you are in your gear, you're going to want to bookmark this guide so that you can come back to it so you know what to do next in your build, whether it be early, mid, or late game, because a lot of stuff has changed with crystals and stuff as well. We'll start off the game, we're going to start off the guide by talking about Naru. That's right. When you start the game, you're basically going to do the main story. What main story, Blue? The whole thing. Everything. Start to finish. You mean all 10,000 quests? All 10,000 quests. Okay. But particularly, you're going to do the main story through... There's no Naru awakening weapon. Hold on. I'm going to do a Deadeye because everyone wants to do a Deadeye anyway. There we go. Boom. Boom. As you do the main story is going to gift you Naru gear. Okay. And you're just going to enhance this to PEN with the beginner Blackstones that the main story gives you, okay? Really easy. You can't go wrong. Don't use fail stacks. Don't use crown stones. Don't worry about failing. You just click it till it hits PEN. Boom, you're done, okay? It's also going to give you stuff called Naru Accessories. You can wear the Naru Accessories. I'm not going to bother putting them on the gear wheel, though, because I'm going to tell you right now, do not enhance the Naru Accessories. It's not worth it. Just use the ones that they give you, and then the second that you get anything better, like Capotia or your Tuvala, rather, you should just immediately transition to that stuff. Okay. The main story is going to take you through 3 regions in the game very early on. You need to do Ancient Stone Chamber. If you do any of the other ones, that's fine. You're just going to have to come back and do Ancient Stone Chamber anyway. Okay. You're going to have to do everything eventually. In order to circumvent, in order to progress like kind of quickly, you want to choose Ancient Stone Chamber. It's going to take you through Balanos, Serendia, and Calpheon. Okay, these 3 regions right here. All right, then after that, there's going to be quests for Medaya, the Medayan Royals of the Bast, or whatever the heck the quest is called. There's 2 quest lines for this. It'll take you through Medaya, and right when you're about to start the Valencia quest line, which is this region. Oh my gosh, this region is so big. Yeah, that's what everybody says every time. Right before you start the Valencia quest line, which I believe starts like right here. Okay, you're good to go. It's time to graduate from your Naru. It's time to get better stuff on. You're going to get an Abyssal weapon when you're doing the Medaya quest line. Yeah, whatever. You'll put that on, but you're going to replace that kind of immediately as you go. When you finish the Medaya questline, you should have enough beginner Blackstones to basically pen out all of your Naru gear. You're going to have some extra ones left over, and I'll tell you what to do with those in a second here. But basically, you're going to turn your Naru into Tuvala. That's right. There's going to be a prompt on the screen. The moment that you get PEN Naru, you can turn it into Pry Tuvala. You want to do this. Click that button, turn it into Tuvala. It's the same exact enhancement, but it allows you to keep enhancing it. And I want to be clear, Try Tuvala is actually free. Like no meme. A lot of people say, oh, Duo is free, Blue, and we have a lot of memes like that in the community. No, seriously, it's 100% chance, boom. It takes away some of the durability on the item, but it's 100% chance, boom, boom. You just enhance it to Try immediately, okay? And you're going to do this for every single piece that you get here. Okay. Let's do this. Boom. Boom. And this is where you're going to start getting Naru accessories. And that's going to, Tuvala accessories, rather. And that's where things are going to start getting a little bit more difficult. Okay, so we're going to put everything at Try. When you hit level 56, which should be somewhere around the Medaya questline, like I said, right when you get to the end of that Medaya questline, this is all going to happen at the same time. You should be hitting relatively like level 56, somewhere in there. And you're going to unlock the Awakening quest for your character. If you want the description about what Awakening is, I'm not going to go into it too much here. Please just go look at my Choose Your Class guides. Those should be linked in the video description. Those are great. The very first video kind of explains the difference between the two. Either way, you're going to get access to your Tuvala awakening weapon here. Boom. We're gonna put it at Try because again, Try is free. It's 100% chance. Can't go wrong. All right. It's gonna give it to you at Pry. You just click, boom, boom. Done and done. Now, what do you do for this middle slot here? This is your Alchemy stone. Okay. And for a lot of starting players, the first thing you're gonna want to do is put on one of these is the first thing that you're gonna get. Boom. Okay, these are disposable alchemy stones. When they run out of durability, just grind them. Click open your processing window and grind them up. They will grind into a powder that you will use to gas up your alchemy stones later in the game. Okay, but like, don't worry about them running out of durability. You're still going to be able to use them later. You can't gas them back up, of course. You have to buy another one. But you're going to graduate off this pretty quickly because there is something called the Ulu Kita questline. No, not Uwu. Owo Kita, Uwu Kita. Yeah, whatever the hell you want to call it. If you hit O as in octopussy, you click on the main tab right here, and then you scroll down. There should be an Ulu Kita questline. Somewhere in here, there it is, 75 quests long. It only takes like 2 to 3 hours. At the very end of the quest line, it's going to give you a stone. It's going to give you this thing. Okay, because I've already done it. Okay, this is a repairable alchemy stone, and you'll notice it gives you 1 sheet AP. So your stats actually go up by equipping this thing. And all you have to do is the main storyline. Easy win, right? Win-win. As a new player, again, just keep doing the main story. You cannot go wrong. All right, so you're going to graduate to the A Taurus Power Stone pretty quickly. You're not going to do any of this Blessed and Exalt. Don't worry about that shit yet. Okay, that's the Dark Place symbol. We don't go there yet. All right, this is the time when you're going to start enhancing your Tuvala accessories. All right, the game is going to give you, via your season pass, it should give you, I think, a PEN Tuvala ring and a PEN Tuvala earring. Boom, just for completing your season pass and like kind of going through that. No big deal. Your Tuvala necklace and belt, I think that you get these basically handed to you, but I'm going to make them try initially, just in case people were to struggle with it in some way. You're going to get try here. You're going to get try here. Okay, the game also right now via an event. I'm not sure if this is going to last forever. So it's January 8th right now. There's an event going on where if you hit the Y tab, there's going to be something in your Y tab that allows you to... can I see it? Is it down here? If you graduate seasonal, it's going to give you a full set of Tet boss gear. So season character level 60 special thing. Obviously this is a quest that comes every once in a while. They allow people to do this. This is going to give you a full set of Capotias. When you graduate from seasonal, it's going to give you full set of Tet boss gear. Okay. And it's going to give you base Capotias. All right. So even if you somehow didn't finish your Tuvala, which you should do, you still have this available to you. Or you can gear out an alt character and have it be geared as well. Okay, so that's a win. It's also going to give you Secret Book of the Misty Breeze or whatever. That's skill points. So this is basically going to help you gear out another character if you want to. But it can also kind of fill in some of the open slots on this gear wheel here. Either way, as you're working your way through seasonal, you're going to work your way to full PEN Tuvala pretty quickly. So I'll go ahead and enhance these. How do you enhance these to PEN Tuvala? There's these little purple stones called time-filled black stones. I don't know if I have any. They look like this. Little purple things look like this. Drop from every mob in the game, basically. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Turn the Deadeye around. We're getting distracted. Lock in. All right. So you enhance it with the time-filled stones. Everything enhances with the time-filled stones now. It's really, really easy. All of this should be... you're wondering, do not cron Tuvala to get to PEN. You're going to need your cron stones. Okay, the entire game revolves around cron stones, and I like to indoctrinate you into this system really early on now. Whereas before you got off Tuvala, you did the guaranteed PEN system, and then you started getting introduced to cron stones. No, you're gonna get it basically right off the rip. You're gonna be basically enhanced to. You're gonna be engaged with cron stones immediately here. So boom, we're gonna pen out all of these weapons and stuff. Boom. Do not cron these. You just hit these up. The game should give you fail stacks. Just keep talking to Fugar. He'll just keep giving you fail stacks. Fugar's right over here. In every major town, he looks like me. Yeah. He's got antlers on his head and everything. Looks like this. You can find him in every major town or city. This is Heidel right here. This is where I'm standing in Heidel. In Velia, he's standing like right there where that flashing ring symbol is. And we're going to get to that, why that ring symbol is flashing right now. Okay, so now we have full PEN Tuvala. All right. What are these? These are your artifacts. Oh my gosh. The game is going to give you artifacts for free when you start the game. One's going to be a DR artifact. It's going to look kind of like that. And then the other one's going to be a monster AP artifact. You need to pick up your second monster AP artifact. And you should do that relatively quickly as you grind for your early game grind zone spots. You should just get a second one. So I'm going to put it in there, but kind of get it when you're able to. If you're wondering what goes in here, these are Lightstones. And you can put 4 Lightstones, 2 Lightstones in each artifact. You have 2 artifacts, 4 Lightstones total. You put them in your gear, and they all have set effects. Okay. I'm not going to complicate. I'm going to dumb this down really easy for you. What set effect should I be using, Blue? Okay, there's early on, there's a combat EXP set effect that you really should use when you're leveling up your characters. It's alert combat. Just put 4 of these in your gear. Okay, just put 4 of these in your gear until you're like level 62, level 63. Okay, you cannot go wrong with the combat artifact or Lightstones. Okay, 300% combat EXP just for having these suckers equipped. Okay, and you're going to be one-shotting all the mobs anyway, so you don't really worry about, you're not really worried at all about anything else. Like the EXP is definitely the best thing to have in your gear. Okay, it's technically 400% EXP if you count the individual EXP on each Lightstone artifact. That is correct, chat. Thank you. But it's 300% for the Lightstone like combined effect is what I meant. So that's your first artifact setup. Once you start progressing to the mid game, I'll very quickly tell you which Lightstone setups you should be looking at in order to simplify it for all of you. Now that you've got your PEN Tuvala, guys, this should take you almost no time at all. Early on, I do have a crystal guide. If you want to look at a crystal guide, I'm not going to go too far into this, but you can kind of just throw crystals into your gear as you need to. I wouldn't go too crazy with the crystals early on, though. Again, I would take a look at the crystal guide. It's only a little bit out of date. It's like one thing here, one thing there that you could change, but like for the most part, it's a pretty comprehensive guide. Okay, what are we doing next? All right, so this is where it starts to diverge from the last gear guide, okay? Because it used to be that you graduate seasonal. All right. And you do want to graduate seasonal at this point. A lot of people are like, do I want to graduate seasonal right away? Or do I want to stay on seasonal and get the seasonal rewards? Just graduate. Okay. Don't worry about it because the game now gives you away not 1, but 2 PEN Blackstars immediately, basically upon graduating seasonal. Well, one of them is immediate. You're going to hit the Y menu. Oh my gosh, there's going to be a PEN Blackstar sitting there waiting for you. Now this is the very crucial part. This is going to test your IQ. Which PEN Blackstar do you take? All right, I'm going to make this really simple. So listen up. If you are a succession class, okay, meaning you are a pre-awakening weapon class, you need to take, I'm just going to make it a fucking infograph. All right. Succession classes are taking the main hand Blackstar first. Okay. Awakening classes are taking the awakening Blackstar first. Okay, and let's see. So if you are shy specifically, shy is special. Okay, you're taking the flow ring. Okay, Blackstar every time. Okay, do not mess this up. Do not take the Vitclara. You're taking the flow ring. That's your main hand. Okay, if you are an archer, so you have like archers. So you use both. We call that an ascension class. Archer's case specifically. Archer uses almost exclusively its awakening weapon. You need to take the awakening Blackstar first. Okay. For the other ascension classes like Scholar, Scholar doesn't matter. I recommend the pre-awakening. Okay, when you don't know and you're a little unsure, even after watching this guide, you should take the pre-awakening one because that's the one that gives the most monster AP. The reason I'm telling the awakening classes to take the awakening PEN Blackstar is because it gives you so many AP brackets, and we'll talk about AP brackets a little bit later, but there's hidden AP in the game. It's giving you way more hidden AP because your bracket is way higher and your skills are scaling off those skills better, so you're just going to do more damage, just going to be overall stronger. You will end up getting both of them though, but I'll get to that in a second. If you are a Deadeye, okay, you need to take the pre-awakening first. Okay, you need to take the pre-awakening first. All right, main hand Blackstar. Main hand Blackstar. I shouldn't have typed pre-awakening. It's main hand. Okay. The other ascension classes in the game, I recommend taking the main hand Blackstar as well. Okay. Take what looks cool. No, don't do that. That's no. So it's to be very clear, guys, for your first Blackstar, at no point ever, Taylor Swift ever, should you be taking the offhand Blackstar. Okay, please keep in mind, there is a main hand, awakening, and an offhand. Okay? All right? You should never take the offhand Blackstar for your first Blackstar. That is a very bad mistake. Very bad mistake. However, if you did do that, it's not the end of the world. I'll get into why in a second. They just added a new system into the game called Deck Tuvala. Okay? Yes, Deck Tuvala. You talk to Fugar with your graduation cap in your inventory from graduating seasonal, and this is why it's important to have graduated seasonal. so that you can equip that first PEN Blackstar that they're going to give you. And since we're a gunslinger here, we're going to pretend that we have the PEN Blackstar revolver. Boom, we're good, right? Now the question is, blue, and this is where a lot of people mess this up as well. What should I do for the deck Tuvala? Okay, now you can enhance things beyond PEN Tuvala, but you can only do it one time for your weapons, and you can only do it one time for your accessories. Okay, to make this really simple, your accessories, you're turning this into a deck. Okay, it's the necklace every time. Do not even look at the rest of the accessory slots. Every single class in the game, no matter what, it's the necklace. You understand? Especially if you're a new player. Okay, you're doing the deck Tuvala necklace, which will immediately translate into a KHARAZAD. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, for the second PEN Blackstar, or trying to enhance this to deck, this is why I said you need to save your Cronstones, especially if you have Cronstones from like one of the Calpheon or the Heidel Ball. I'm not sure, depending on when you're watching this video, it could be different, or a recent event. You're going to get thousands of Cronstones that they're going to give you. Don't use those. You need to hoard those for this moment right here. For enhancing your necklace to pen or deck to Vella, and enhancing your weapon to deck. Okay, if you ask me what's more important, it's the weapon every time. Okay, so even though I've shown this first, the weapon is much more important than the necklace. Okay, and you should do the weapon first. Okay, now which weapon should you take? Okay, so this is the second PEN Blackstar. Okay, listen, first PEN Blackstar we talked about. This is second PEN Blackstar. Okay, really simple. Okay, dumb as a doornail. You cannot mess this up. Okay, if you are a succession class and you already have a PEN Blackstar main hand, you need to take the Awakening PEN Blackstar as your second Blackstar. Okay, I know what a lot of you are thinking is that, but wait, I don't really use the Awakening though. I use my offhand though. And if you're a ninja main that thinks that way, please go play Maple Story. Okay, this game is not for you. Go back to Wuthering Waves. Go back to Genshin Impact. This game is too complicated for you. You can't get there. Okay, whatever Blackstar you took the first time, you need, like, so if you took the pre-Awakening Blackstar the first time, you're taking the Awakening one the second time. Which means if you took the Awakening Blackstar the first time, you're going to take the pre-Awakening Blackstar. And again, I'm going to emphasize, do not take the offhand. Okay? Don't take the offhand. If you are a new player, do not even look at the PEN Blackstar offhand. And we have analyzed this left, right, and center. You can ask any streamer that you want. Do not, if you are a brand new player, you have no PEN Blackstars, you're a Tuvala Timmy, you're never taking the offhand Blackstar for any reason. Okay? If you're a succession class, you take the Awakening one. If you're an Awakening class, you take the pre-Awakening. Okay? And then at this point, you should have 2 PEN Blackstars that look like this. Okay? If your gear wheel does not look like this, you have up. Okay? You have messed up. All right? Now, the only exception to this is Shy. Shy is the only exception to this because, again, she is special. She must enhance her Artina Soul herself. Okay, so you cannot take the Awakening PEN Blackstar. And in that case, you guessed it, you're going to take another Florang. The Vitklari. Guess what? You're still not taking the offhand. That's insane. You're just going to take another Florang and you're going to make it a sovereign weapon. Okay? It's literally just that simple. Okay? You can take the Vitklari. All right? You can. But I'm thinking you probably want the Sovereign. It's going to give you a lot better stats. It's going to allow you a lot better progression. Wutaru, what are your thoughts on it? I'll allow Wutaru to weigh in. Wutaru, what do you think? If it's a new Shy, a new terrorist in the community, do you think the Shy should take the second Florang? Or do you think that they should take the Vitklari? That's what I did. You're not a new player. Double Florang for Sovereign. There it is. There it is. And that is a Shy expert, both of them. I got Sovereign, yeah. Like, again, guys, so Again, if you're a shy, your gear wheel is going to look a little bit different. You're going to have terrorism. That's weird. They don't have the weapon on here. But this will not be pen. You can't get to a PEN Blackstar on a shy. Okay. So like you're just gonna take 2 PEN Blackstars, and when you have 2 PEN Blackstars, guys, in this video game, when you have 2 PEN Blackstars in this video game, you can combine them together and get a better weapon called a sovereign weapon, which we're gonna talk about later. Okay. Now, for anyone that's not a shy, you're not even gonna look at this. Oh yeah, it can be enhanced attack. Oh, big number, crazy. Okay. Don't worry about this for now. But if you're a shy, you can enhance this to 10. Let it sit. Okay, easy peasy. But like for everyone else, we're gonna stay on the path because most people aren't terrorists. I have to roll this or people are gonna get upset. Okay, so now you have 2 PEN Blackstars. You do not have an offhand PEN Blackstar. Now I know what you're thinking. When is it appropriate to take the offhand PEN Blackstar? If you are a returning player, coming back to the game and you already had 1 PEN Blackstar before they gave away 2 more free PEN Blackstars, it is okay for you to take the offhand PEN Blackstar. That is acceptable. Alternatively, you can go for your sovereign. Just understand, sovereign can be acquired much more cheaply if you just go to world bosses and get the flame. You can save yourself about 80 billion. Okay, but like it's like 6 months of going to world bosses, so just bear that in mind. It's going to be really hard. But like a lot of people like to skip all that, don't like to go to world bosses. They just pick up their sovereign right away. But if you already had a free pen, or if you already had PEN Blackstar from being a returning player before, yeah, just go triple PEN Blackstar. Don't worry about it. That's what I'm going to do on EU. I have 1 PEN Blackstar. Ironically, hit that today. That's a W. And then they gave me a 1 for free. And then with my deck Tuvala, I will enhance the PEN Blackstar because I'm not ready for sovereign on that account. Okay, so I'll have literally 3 Blackstars on that account that are all PEN. Okay. That is fine. But for any new player, we're going to stay on this path here. You've got your KHARAZAD necklace. You got your 2 Blackstars here. What do you do next? Okay, well, now you're going to start doing the guaranteed pen system. Okay. You're going to go up to Jetina. Jetina is right here. This is everybody's favorite old ass woman. Okay. She's in every major town. Again, Jetina in Vell is usually the one that people want to talk to. She right here. Or wait. I don't know. She's somewhere around here. She's somewhere in here. Okay. All right, Jetina's great. Jetina's going to have a bunch of guaranteed quests for you. All you got to do is turn in the late Noras that you were doing from your dark rifts. Okay, these little dark rifts are going to spawn every once in a while. Go around the world and kill them. Okay, it's going to give you late Noras, which you can turn in to do your weeklies for Jetina. Just walk up to her, start doing those right away because the timer on those is 7-day timer based on when you did the last quest. Oh, we got another hammer. W. Okay, so run up to Jetina, start doing this the moment that you start getting late Naras, okay? And start collecting the concentrated boss aura that you're going to need to do the guaranteed pen system. I should have some. Yeah, it looks like this. She's going to give you like, I don't know, a few hundred, or like a little over 100, I think, for each weekly quest, which is huge. And then you can also trade in your late Naras for them as well, which is like your extra late Naras for them as well. So it's way easier to get the guaranteed pen stuff, okay? All right, they've added another new thing to the game. All right, now I'm going to transition all of this over to Tet Boss Gear. All right, you're going to do something else in the game somewhere around now because you've graduated seasonal now and you're a big boy. Okay. You're going to finish a quest line called the Magnus. When you hit O, you're going to do this quest line pretty early on. The Magnus quest line, I don't know, it's in here somewhere. Some crazy shit ass. It's a pretty long quest line. I'm not going to lie. It's like a 5 or 6 hour quest line. But you have to do it. You know why you have to do it? Because they're going to give you a free pen of your choice. And you should choose one of 2 things. You should either choose Red Nose, which is what I recommend. Or you can choose Beggs. Okay, you can choose Beggs too. Now, I'd like, well, wait, what is Beggs gloves? Well, we're going to get into this in a minute. Okay, I recommend Red Nose. Keep it simple. Okay, keep it simple, stupid. That way, everybody takes Red Nose. But what about Dim Tree? No. Stupid people take Dim Tree. You tell your friends to take Dim Tree and then send me a picture of their gear so that we can make fun of them together. Okay, don't take Dim Tree. It's really bad. Red Nose is better because it requires less overall money to upgrade it to the next tier of gear, which you're going to have to do later anyway. Okay, never take Dim Tree. Now, Begs, Uragons. All right, this is the only decision in the entirety of BDO that you will ever have to make, and people screw this up. All right, people talk about this all the time. I do not recommend going into the class Discord for this. Damage reduction versus evasion. Okay, this is the tale as old as time. Everyone is going to have their opinion on this. What I am going to tell you in this guide is what your class is geared for. Meaning if your class has passives for one thing or another, I'm going to tell you to build that. And the reason is the developers have made it very clear on multiple occasions that if something's out of whack and people are building DR on evasion class, they're absolutely going to work to correct that. Okay, so like in my personal opinion, especially if you're a new player, it doesn't matter what people think is good in the metagame right now. By the time you have the gear for it to be relevant, it will have shifted again. There's going to be a whole new opinion. Oh, now evasion's better. Now DR is better. It's always going to be different. The safest thing for you to do as a new player is to build what your class is intended to build from moment one. Okay, a hybrid. No. Okay, that's a good that you brought that up, chat. Where thousands of adventurers have come before you and said, wait a minute. Hold on. What if I built one DR and one evasion? And then I would have both. No, you're a complete moron. Where thousands of adventurers have failed before you, you are not the chosen one. Do not do this, okay? And anyone that says that their hybrid is deliberately trolling you, okay? Because the only way that hybrid works is if they're already 770 gear score, and they're so much higher gear score than everyone else in the game that they could just take their armor off and it would whoop-dee shit. It's not gonna matter what the hell they've built, okay? Do not build hybrid, okay? Period, dot. You will pick one or the other. I will list out exactly which class should be building what thing. Evasion. Okay, so we're going to talk about this a little bit because people are going to get really upset that I just put certain classes in the evasion column. Now, I want to be very, very clear that there's a number of these classes that you can absolutely build. Honestly, you can build any of these evasion classes, DR, and get away with it. You're going to be okay. However, if you build a damage reduction class evasion, you're going to f it up. Okay, you can't build a guardian evasion and not have the other guardians make fun of you. Okay, but you can build a Dark Knight with damage reduction, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, so Dark Knight was recently changed in a not so long ago patch to have one evasion passive on her Wheel of Fortune. It's not that great, and only in succession. Okay, so Awakening doesn't have any evasion passives at all. Okay, so you could make a case that like that evasion doesn't matter as much. I should just build DR, and that can be the case. But here's the thing: you're probably going to feel a little bit like you can trade a little bit better with evasion. The only case that Dark Knights make, and this is a good case that they make for building damage reduction, is nowadays in the game, your build is like the damage that you do with your build is based around your crystal setup. And the simple fact of the matter is the evasion crystal setup, you need to build a few evasion crystals. Okay, it requires you to build some evasion crystals. The DR crystal setup, you don't need no DR crystal. That you can just stack human damage out of your mind. You can stack human damage out of your mind. And so this is why a lot of Dark Knights, I'm going to put her over here too. A lot of Dark Knights, for this reason, also like to build damage reduction because they can stack more damage and they say, well, I'm squishy anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I should just build damage reduction. Okay. DK is absolutely a class. Honestly, I'll just put her in the middle just to be less confusing. DK is absolutely a class that can be built with both. Okay. She does have an evasion passive, and I recommend if you're succession DK, yeah, you probably just build evasion. But like, understand that you can build more damage with damage reduction, and the class is kind of centered around damage. So like, I think that what they're probably going to do on DK is they're going to push more evasion passives onto her to force people to build evasion on the class, but that's speculation. So again, DK is one of these classes. Another class that people like to do this on is Hash. Okay. Okay, Hash should be built evasion. Okay, but a lot of like the really high level hashes build DR so that they can build the crystals. Like they can build like big damage on the crystals. Now I'm actually going to keep Hash over here because I'm going to be honest with you. Do not take advice never take advice from a player that doesn't understand your perspective as a new player to the game, okay? And this is most very good players, especially at PvP, okay? For example, a lot of lawns are going to tell you, yeah, you need to build DR on lawn, okay? And the reason those lawns are telling you that is because they're gods at the class. Like Khufu builds DR, Zurelia builds DR, all of the Ham 454, I'm pretty sure, is a DR lawn, and their solution is to just never get hit by anything for any reason. And they are so good at their class that the evasion doesn't matter. They don't need the evasion passives. They're not going to get hit, and they can stack more damage. They feel like they do more damage with it, which is the truth, okay? But you, if you must ask the question, and this is a good rule of thumb, if you must ask the questions, do I go evasion or DR on lawn? You need to go evasion. And it's the same for this, for Hashashin. If you have to ask why or what you should do, you need to build what I'm telling you to do on this list. Those players that have enough game knowledge to understand why Dark Knight can be billed as a damage reduction or evasion class, those players can absolutely make the choice to say, yeah, we should build damage reduction so I can have some more human damage crystals. But new players don't understand this. They don't understand, right? They're going to be tankier on the lawn with the evasion passives. It's just going to be stronger for them. Shy is another thing. You're going to see some deranged Shy mains. They're going to tell you to build DR on Shy. No, they're delusional. You're a new player. Build evasion on Shy. You're going to be fine, okay? This class scales fantastically with evasion. It's meant to be built with evasion. Build it with evasion. You're also going to see some special education ninjas that are like, I have to build DR because I have to do damage. And they're saying this, of course, from the spectate screen because you've already one-shot them. They're okay? Like, this is every player that constantly has such a deranged opinion about this has no idea what it's like as a new player. As a new player, you're going to make mistakes, all right? You're going to get hit a lot, all right? And if you're going to get hit a lot, it's best to build like the class the way that the developers intend for you to build it, right? Well, for Striker and Mystic, it's usually just evasion, right? Now, if you go to Divios' stream, and the reason I bring this is that you go to Divios' stream, Divios is probably full DR Striker. And the reason is Divios has a full set of evasion and a full set of DR. He's one of those players that can just put on hybrid. He can take off his boots and still beat you blindfolded. It really doesn't matter. Okay? He's going to do more damage with the DR, so he's just going to be able to use the DR on you. Okay? DR, the fact of the matter is, in the current metagame, DR is strong in the super end game. Yeah, super strong. But new players, by the time that they get to end game, it's not going to make any difference. It might have switched back to evasion again. All right. The only class that I think is kind of really in the middle is Dark Knight, because again, she's kind of a damage focused class. You're going to be squishy no matter what you build. Awakening doesn't even have evasion passives on it. You could build it either or. You could make a strong case for damage reduction. It's totally fine. All right. Now, DR classes. And this is where you cannot mess this up. For evasion, it was like, okay, you could kind of make a case because of how the crystal build set up. No. If you're a Guardian and you do not build full damage reduction, it's because you're a moron. Okay? If you are a Valkyrie and you don't build full damage reduction, it's because you're an idiot. Same thing goes for Warrior. The same thing goes for Deadeye. But Blue, you're an evasion Deadeye. It's because I haven't rolled my I'm not, to be clear, I'm not a Deadeye, like, she's tagged. Okay? And you can play Deadeye with evasion if you want to. But she's meant to be a DR class. So you should be DR on Deadeye. For Dark Knight, take both blue and green gear. No, don't listen to that. No, that guy's an idiot. Don't do that. You choose one or the other. Wusa's a good one. Yeah, Nova. Both specs of Nova. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, chat. Berserker. Yeah. And again, these are classes that you do not build these with evasion. You do not build these with evasion. Oh, I forgot one over here is Megu. Megu is an evasion class for sure. You should be building evasion on Megu. Again, the only people not building evasion on Megu are people whose solution is don't get hit by anything. Okay, so you're gonna get hit. All right, it is what it is. Megu's got some fantastic evasion classes. You should build evasion on Megu, unless you're amazing at the game, in which case you don't need this guide anyway. Scholar is definitely a damage reduction class. It's not even a question. You're building it every time. Wizard and Witch. I'm putting them both over here. Wizard, Witch. But you can see the pause. You can see the pause I had. Okay. Oh, if you're Awakening, Wizard, or Witch, you should absolutely be building Evasion every time. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. Evasion is way better. Go ask any person that actually plays the class and they'll tell you. That being said, if you're a pre-Awakening, if you're a Succession, and the reason for this is because for some reason the Wizard of Witch like class buff gives you like 12% evasion passive on it, and you have to trade a lot more with that class, and so you're constantly trading all the time, and the evasion just makes you tankier. You need to be evasion. Okay. In Succession, you're basically a turret firing from range. You're almost never getting up close and trading with your opponent for damage at all. You're gonna build basically full damage, full bore damage all the time. Doesn't really matter at all. And damage reduction, again, the crystal setup for damage reduction is just going to be stronger for you. I think if you ask Huntler, he's probably damage reduction. Archer's a damage reduction class. Sork is an evasion class. There are special education Sorks that will try to tell you that Sork is a DR class. That's because they haven't played the game in like 3 years because they hate themselves. Since they made evasion gloves, so the thing about Sork is you're going to see some outdated opinions about this class. A lot of Sorks used to build damage reduction because it had more accuracy on the build, and Sork as a class, it's a non-fact. It has no accuracy at all. Okay, so in order to get more accuracy, they would intentionally build against what their class should, and then their solution is, you guessed it, don't get hit. Okay. Now, the evasion gloves have the evasion build has exactly the same DR or accuracy as the damage reduction build, and Sork has some great evasion passives, and so there's really no excuse not to build evasion on Sork pretty much all the time. Okay, just evasion. Build evasion on Sork. It's not even a question. Outdated opinions will tell you to build DR on Sork. That's stupid. Okay. Seems like way too much detail for new players. No, because I have to specify. I think that new players probably appreciate the detail that I'm kind of touching on, because they're probably going to pan to the part of the video where I talk about their class, and then the reasoning is important, right? Dosa. I'm fairly certain that Dosa is a DR class. Yeah. Sage. Sage, another class you could build in the middle, but I recommend Evasion. I recommend Evasion on Sage. He's got enough. Like you just have to trade so much. I'm gonna put him in the Evasion column. Like you have to. He's kind of like Awakening Witch and Awakening Wizard, but he has like no evasion passes. But like for some reason he's tankier with evasion than he is with DR. Because you just have to trade so frequently, and the class is so slow. Corsair and Draconia. Good call. Okay, so Draconia is a damage reduction class. Oh, I'm off the screen. Draconia. It's a damage reduction class. Okay. And Corsair is definitely an evasion class. And anyone that says Corsair is not an evasion class is a moron. Okay. You ask any Corsair, their evasion, don't even look at it. Awakening, Succession, doesn't matter. Okay. Evasion, Awakening Witch, even in PvE, yes. Again, this is for PvE and PvP. I want to be very clear. People have very stern opinions about what is better in PvE, what is better in PvP. There are some grind locations in the game that are stronger with evasion. There are other that are stronger with DR. Okay. But what the developers have said explicitly on 2 or 3 occasions is that they're trying to balance evasion and damage reduction tankiness in PvE. So in time, it's not going to matter. The only time that this will matter will be in, well, PvP. Also, assuming that they are equal, you should feel tankier on an evasion class in PvE with evasion gear, right? Because you have evasion passives that are making you feel more tanky. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily how they've got it right now. They're certainly like trending more towards the middle. They made a lot of steps in 2024 pushing, because it used to be very DR heavy. Now that the pendulum has swung pretty hard towards evasion, they've made a lot of the spots in the game. They evened the accuracy out. They brought evasion tankiness up. If you guys remember it, all the Ulakita grind zones and Crypt of Resting Thoughts as well. Like they're evening out this in all the grind zones in the game. So like, again, people are going to be very opinionated on this. This is the end all be all class list for whether or not you should build DR or evasion. Okay. This is what you should build if you have to ask the question, and a lot of players do have to ask the question. Most players are not good enough to know, like, oh yeah, I can do damage reduction in this particular sense because I can get this little thing, like the little edge out of it. No, you're just gonna be better off with being a little bit more tanky with the evasion. It is what it is. All right, now we all know which path we're taking. All right. That being said, we are a Deadeye, so we are DR. If you're a damage reduction class, like your class is on the left side of that list, you're gonna pick Begs, you're gonna pick Uragons. That's what they look like. Okay, one looks like that, one looks like this. If you're an evasion class, you will pick Liebers, and you will pick Muskins. Those are the two. All right. At no point should you have a Muskins and a Begs gloves on. You f***ed up badly. Okay, do not do that. Okay, and the reverse. Don't do the reverse either. Don't be, you know, like Liebers with Uragons on. That's stupid too. All right, that's stupid too. But we're a Deadeye, so we're gonna assume that we chose the correct thing. We're gonna PDR. Okay. Oh yeah, they do give you a PEN Blackstar for free too. So you're gonna replace your offhand with the PEN Blackstar. It's not gonna be fiery yet. Boom. Okay, they give that to you for free. It's in your Y menu. Total joke. Okay, and then every time they give you hammers and stuff, you can click it. You are now 269 AP. Nice. Okay. The reason that this is important, okay, is not just the number 69. Okay. There are hidden AP brackets and DP brackets in Black Desert Online, meaning if your sheet AP says a certain number, you will get a certain amount of extra AP just for fun. So this is what, if your sheet AP says this number, this is what your bonus AP is. You'll notice that like the big ones are highlighted, right? 269 AP. You go from 122 to 137. Holy shit. Just for going from 268 AP to 269 AP, you're not just getting one sheet AP. You're getting one sheet AP, sure, but you're also getting like 15 not sheet AP. This is a substantial thing. And so part of what I'm doing when I'm manipulating your gear here and helping you progress is I'm helping you hit these brackets, okay? DP also has brackets. Not gonna go into that right now. Actually, I could look, see DP. Oh, look, brackets. Yay, woo! You notice the highest one is 401. Sweet, awesome. Okay, moving back over here. You're now 269. Amazing. You've done almost no work. You're like a week or two into the game. This is where you're at right now. Your first pen, your first guaranteed pen that you get from Jetina should be your gloves. Every time. Okay, gloves every time. Take the gloves. All right. You do not need to take any of Jetina's pen weapon quests. All right. If you're going to take one, you can take the pen Kutum and then Caphras your Kutum up to C20 instead of penning this Blackstar. That's fine. It's guaranteed progression. Some people like that stepwise. I have a C20 Kutum instead of a PEN Blackstar, but it was before PEN Blackstar was a thing. So it's like whatever. But like, again, you can go for the Kutum. It's like 3.5 bill to get a pen Kutum. And then to start Caphrasing it, you know, you can start getting AP brackets over time instead of all in one big chunk. Like, boom. Oh my God, look at that. Huge upgrade, right? So, but for now, you're going to sit like this. Your first pen is going to be in your glove slot. And that's because this is the cheapest one to get to Caphras level 10. Yes, that's right. I said it. Caphras. Okay, what are Caphras? Well, these are these things that you can put in your gear. The little egg things, the little yellow egg things. All right, you can put them into your gear. You just dump them into your gear in the enhancement window. It's like the upgrade window or whatever. It's right next to the enhancement window. And as you dump Caphras into your gear, it levels up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then when you hit level 10, you can trade in these gloves to get something better, the end game gloves. And the DR, the damage reduction one, is blue. Okay, blue. All right, green is evasion. Green is evasion. So you take the blue ones if you're a Deadeye in this case. All right. Duo is completely free. You can quote me on it. So right when you trade it in, you can basically enhance it to Duo. Bam, bam. Easy peasy. Slam, bam. Thank you, man. It's not free. But like it should be. Like theoretically it's free. You have to use any Caphras for it. I'm colorblind. Then take your best guess, Stevie Wonder. No one cares. All right. Now, how do you get Caphras? Okay, we're going to talk about this for a second. There is a new quest in the game where you can get, I think it's like 3,000 or 6,000 Caphras, 3,000 Caphras, or is it 6,000 Caphras? For free. You just get them, right? For grinding for your infinite potion, 3,000. Okay, yeah, so you get 3,000. Thank you, chat, for confirming. It is 3,000, but you have to fill up these Marnie stones. Essentially, you talk to, who starts the quest? Is it Fugar? I think Fugar starts the quest, and then you have to grind, like, I don't know, 5,000 mobs at each grind zone, and they're basically the infinite potion grind zone spots. If you're wondering which, like, oh gosh, what should I do for, I'm gonna have to remake my infinite potion guide. Look at that, it's me again. 53,000 views. Crazy. Okay, so this is a really good guide, and it's not just because it tells you literally everything you need to know. Don't get intimidated. Hour and 42 minutes. It's timestamped, so you go to what you need. Okay, it will literally, you go to a grind zone, and I show you where the grind zone is, what the rotations are, and everything you need to know about that grind zone. Now, for these, and again, I have to update this guide so that I can include, like, hey, these are the spots that you're going to want to go to for your Caphras, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Miramok is one of the spots. For example, you can see it's one of the most watched spots. That's because of the new thing. Miramok, you have to go to, you have to kill, like, what, 5,000 mobs or 3,000 mobs or some shit at Miramok or Monshams, at Monsham Forest. Okay. It's not Miramok, it's Monshams. I don't know where Monshams is. I don't know, it's somewhere around here. Here it is. And I go through every single grind rotation that you can have at Monsham Forest, right? And I do this for every single one of the low-end grind zones in the game. This will be linked in the video description, so you can take a look at it. But, like, again, you want to go to these spots so that you can get these Caphras done. And I have not, this is like, what, 6 months ago? So the 3,000 free Caphras didn't exist back then. I'm going to talk a lot about Fogans and Nagas and desert spots here. All that, you're just going to go to the infinite potion spots. I think it's Ronaros, Monshams, Tashira Ruins, Blood Wolf Settlements, and there could be one more. But either way, these are the same spots that you're going to have to grind for the infinite potion. And it's also going to give you 100 Achanis elements too, which gives you a free piece of your infinite potion. You only need 3. Now you only need 2. Easy peasy. Okay, so you should end up finishing an infinite potion when you do this. Okay, either way, you're going to get 3,000 Caphras Stone. You're going to Sherakan Day. Yeah, that shit sucks. That shit sucks. Sherakan Day is death, but I do go over it in the guide. Sherakan Night is much better, but you're just not going to be able to fill your Marnie Stone with it. Okay. You're going to dump all 3,000 Caphras into your bags, and you're going to make them C10 immediately, and you're going to put them at duo. Okay, boom, easy peasy. Okay. Does anyone know, can you go from 0 to C10 with 3,000 Caphras? Is that possible? Or is it, it's not quite C10. Regardless, you put your first, dump all of them into your gloves. Yeah, shouldn't quite be 3K. It should be like 5K or something. But you dump all of those Caphras into your gloves. All right. And eventually your gloves are going to hit C10. You put them at duo. You need like 7K. Okay, so it's like 7K. Who gives a shit? Regardless, boom. Okay. And you don't have to put these at duo right away. If you get your gloves to like C7, right? Let's say you get them to C6 with the 3,000 free Caphras. Amazing. Awesome. Now you're going to pen this as well. And look at that. We're 600 gear score. This is the guaranteed pen system, by the way. 2 guaranteed pens. The third one, we're not even going to look at the third one right now. Okay. So you're 600 gear score now. You just did your journals. What's next? Okay. You need to start looking at things like Karanda's Heart. Okay. Karanda's Heart is only about 200 mil. Okay. It's going to give you an extra crystal socket. Okay. An extra crystal socket on your gear. If you get a Garmoth Heart, it's going to give you another extra crystal slot. Okay. But we're going to talk about that. You should upgrade your Heart of Karanda. Just basically, you just slap it in. It's like 200 mil. You slap it on. You just enhancement upgrade your awakening weapon. Bada bing, bada boom. You get an extra crystal slot. Really easy. You should do this around 580 to 600 gear score. You should upgrade this to Garmoth's Heart somewhere around 700 gear score. All right. So right around the time in the guide that I'm showing you 700 gear score, you need to upgrade this to Garmoth's Heart. This is the really expensive one. You can see it's, oh my gosh, 20 billion silver. That's a lot of shut up. It's an extra crystal slot. At this point, you need this. Those stats are very important. You can also put a Garmoth Heart in your offhand, but you can sit on this one a much longer. Heart of Kutum. This is something, again, 580 gear score, 600 gear score. Pick this up. It gives you 525 HP for basically nothing. This is survivability, which means you won't die in PvE as frequently. Just pick it up. No big deal. As you're grinding for your I don't know, after you get your infinite potion, mid-game grind zones, pick this up. No problem. Okay. You upgrade this around 720 gear score. You could get your Garmoth. It'll give you even more HP. Okay, it'll give you even more HP. Well, it's not as critical as it used to be. But now you have 3 pen pieces of boss gear. All right. And your armor's coming up. Now you can do something like orcs now, or Honglim base is probably the best at this APDP bracket. And this is the time when you probably want to start upgrading, like when you graduate from the one-shot spots, like the infinite potion spots and all that stuff, and you move to like the mid-game grind zones like Serendia Elvia or Honglim base and the Land of the Morning Light spots. This is when you want to do an iridescent Lightstone with 3 predations. Okay. Alternatively, okay, this is just going to give you monster damage in general. This is kind of like a robust one that you can use at basically every grind zone in the game. It's just going to give you more monster damage. Going to help you hit those AP brackets and do more damage. Okay. That's your new Lightstone setup. You can also start doing, like if you want to do an iridescent, and the predations are really cheap. I think if you want to go a little bit better, you can buy demi-human, which I think is probably going to benefit you a lot more, as I'm pretty sure Honglim base is a demi-human spot, and then so is orcs as well. So demi-human is also great. I'm not sure which one is demi-human, but this is one of them in here. Roar. So you could go 3 roars and an iridescent. This is going to cost you slightly more money, but you will do a lot more in damage. Okay. But it's a little bit more money. A little bit more money for sure. Okay. So you can do that as well. I'll just leave it right there. Okay. At this point, the game is going to start throwing Capotias at you as well. That they're also going to ask you to do something called the Jetina Accessory. And this is, again, another shift away from the last guide. When you hit I, there's going to be this Jetina Old Moon Guild support menu. You are not going to use this ever. This is completely useless. Do not do this. Okay. Until the game will, if you play the game long enough, there will be enough events where they will give you the stuff for this, where you will get this for free, and that's fine. You just make it for free and then melt it into the stuff that you're going to need for KHARAZAD later anyway. Who cares? Okay, but as a new player, you're not doing Jetinas. Period. Dot. What if you got 500 Jetina special sauce from the guild logins? Don't do it unless it's completely free. I do not care. Just save it until you have enough to get all pen. Okay? It's just going to be a waste of money. All right? And that's because of what I'm about to say, is that this KHARAZAD is just absolutely ridiculous. The game is going to give you 3 Capotia pens for free. One is going to be from like your Y menu. One is from graduating seasonal. Now, and again, this is a change from last time. The first time you graduate seasonal, because you can upgrade your necklace to Deck Tuvala, you need to take the pen belt. Oh my God. We're huge. You're going to take the pen belt. Okay. The second time you graduate seasonal, you're going to take the pen ring or the pen earring. Doesn't matter to me which one. Just pick one. You can roll it. If you guys mess it up, you can go up to Fugar or Jetina and you can roll it to whatever one you need. Okay. It's really not that hard. She'll give you a try one and the stuff that you need to make a pen. Boom. Easy peasy done done. Okay. There's also from your Y menu, you're going to get a Tri Capotia. All right. One of the rewards from your Y menu is going to be a Tri Capotia. At some point, it's going to be a Tri Capotia of your choice. Again, earring or ring, take your pick. All right. You're going to get up in your managed currency tab at the top right here. You need to be AFK fishing, both as a new player and a veteran player. When you're AFK fishing, you're going to get things called coelacanths. Can I please have my mouse? Thank you. Here we go. Coelacanths. You'll notice that the coelacanths give you these dreamy crystal balances. Okay. You can turn in 75 of these, I think. You need 21 Dreamy Crystal of Balances to go from Tri Capotia to Pen Capotia guaranteed. Okay, so you pick up the Tri one that you want from your Y menu. Okay, and then you turn in the coelacanths from AFK fishing every day. All right, and you get these. Boom, you hit your Capotia. Boom, straight to Pen. That's another Pen Capotia. Easy peasy. All right, now you've graduated from Tuvala Timmy to Capotia Carl. All right, huge. Good. So you have another Capotia, right? Just keep putting on pen Capotias. You're going to be great. Everything's going to be fine. All right. But eventually you're going to have to graduate to KHARAZAD, which we're going to talk about. But here's the thing. You're 613 gear scored. It's time to start looking at cleaning your room. Okay. And in BDO, this is what we call this. It's doing your adventure logs. Yay. Adventure logs are really, really fun and you're going to love them. It's not going to waste your time at all. You're going to hate them. It's going to be terrible. Okay. Going to take a lot of time, but it's worth it because they give you permanent stats. Watch your stats go up. Okay. I'm going to enable all. You're going to start with Bartali's. You're going to work your way through. There are guides for this. Blue, did you make guides for this? No, that's the devil's work. Go watch Evil Do Us Harm, okay? Or some other, or Evil Do Us Harm, actually. He makes, honestly, the goated guides for, yeah, just go to him. Go to him. If you love Chris Paul, you can use him too. Yeah. But here, watch the stats go up. Watch these stats right here. Holy shit balls. Yeah, you gotta do those. It's not a question. You absolutely must do all of your journals. Look how much gear score, a 30-ass gear score is literally insane. You gotta do them. It's gonna take you, you know, guys, what do you think? To do all the journals together, was that 40 hours? I think it's about 40 hours. About 40 hours of playtime. 5 months. Yeah, that's crazy. It's not 80. I'd say it's about 40 hours of playtime. Regardless, now you got your journals done. W. And by the way, don't skip. There's one Pavino Greco that gives 600 HP. Do not underestimate that. Do that. It's really good. Really, really good. Okay, so we're just going to pretend that your journals get done. You might do them over time, whatever, but I need to see what the stats are. So 285 is the next bracket. Okay, and keep in mind, if you're a Deadeye or you're an Ascension class, you're going to be using both your main hand and your Awakening, so it's important to make sure you hit those brackets for both. At this point, you're starting to throw Caphras into your other gear. You can put these, honestly, the best way to do this is to C6 all of your armors. Okay, this is the best way to do this. C6 all your armors and then jump and get your first Dead God is usually technically the most efficient way to do this. Okay, why do you need to build DP? Because guys, you can't grind PvE unless you have enough DP. You will die. Okay, there's a lot of morons in the Black Desert community, and I'm going to let you in on this secret. Most of them are ninjas, but a lot of them are going to tell you, you can grind these spots with 300. You can do Underground Gyfin with 300 EP. There are stupid shies in the community that take off all of their armor, and they do Underground Gyfin with 0 DP on, okay? Just because you can doesn't mean you should, all right? And a lot of people, when they say it's totally fine to grind at a location with lower than normal DP, they mean everything is fine until it's not. Okay? These are the losers that aren't going to tell you. They're like the fake news, like mainstream media that are not going to tell you, yeah, so like it's fine like 95% of the time. And then if you get hit once or you don't realize that it's nighttime, yeah, you're dead. Yeah, so they're just going to one-shot you. And then you're going to lose a 2 billion silver crystal. I want to be very clear. The reason I'm recommending you to upgrade DP at these different stages is because you're going to be attempting different grind zones at these different times. I'm not necessarily going into the intricacies of it, but you'll figure it out as you go. But like right now, for example, you're looking at giants, right? You got to have more DP for giants or the boss is going to one-shot you. I know these things. Been there, done that, okay? Now, you don't want to pen your last piece of armor because it takes it's like 16 billion or some shit. Or like, I think it's 12 billion to get your third Jetina pen. It's obnoxious. So you don't have to do this until much later. That's why I'm not telling you to do that. Right around 650 gear score, you're transitioning to Lightstone setups that actually matter and are good. Demi-human damage is really good. Sylvia damage is really good. Human damage is really good. The best Lightstone setup in the game, if you just want to pick it up, although it's going to make you really squishy, is all-out attack. It is uncontestedly the best at any grind zone in the game. It is the go-to, unless you hit the AP bracket. Like if you're over-capping AP, then you want to use species damage, which is why I recommended that before. For example, for Underground Gyfin, I don't need to run all-out attack, because I already hit the AP bracket for Underground Gyfin, so I run Sylvia damage. Species damage goes over the cap at various grind zones. You're like, wait, what a cap? What is he talking about? Okay, when you hit escape, you go to Monster Zone info, right? If I were gonna go to Gyfin, okay, Underground Gyfin, which is a pretty common spot for a lot of people. Okay, you can see this. Boom, I hit refresh. Look at this. So 830 restricted, and I have 920 without any buffs running at all. Okay. This means that, like, if I add any more AP to my build, it will do absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. But if I add Sylvia damage, it will do more damage, and the mobs will die faster. So species damage will always go over the cap, even if you're already at the cap, okay? Species damage is good if you're already at the cap for a zone. But a lot of players, as they're progressing, all-out attack is great for them because it helps them reach those really tough-to-reach AP brackets before they're actually supposed to be there. It can make you a little squishier. It can make it a little riskier, but you can grind at a higher level spot a little bit sooner. Now, KHARAZAD. Okay, KHARAZAD is... this is where the bitches go, bro. Bitches love KHARAZAD. All right. It's like 4, maybe 5 bill to craft a base KHARAZAD. It used to be a lot cheaper, but now everyone's realized that every single other accessory in the game is useless other than KHARAZAD, and now everyone realizes they need Essence of Dawn for everything. So when Essence of Dawn is at max price, you're looking at about 4 to 5 bill. Okay, to craft a KHARAZAD. It is what it is. Everything is going to be KHARAZAD. Blue, what about a Bassi belt, Voltara belt, Ogre ring? What about... no. Nothing else matters. You will literally, one at a time, make KHARAZAD and put them at Tet. Okay? KHARAZAD, put it at Tet, or actually, honestly, put them at Pen. Pen's a joke. Pen is a joke. By the time you're grinding, guys, you understand, 1 hour of grinding, probably Pen KHARAZAD. From base to Pen, maybe 1 hour of grinding. It's a joke, all right? Joke. Now, distos. Okay. It concerns me that you said disto. Does that sound like the word KHARAZAD? No. You no build disto. You only build KHARAZAD. It no KHARAZAD. You build KHARAZAD. You build disto. DP go down. It no good. Now, if you're a returning player and you want to keep your distos on because you don't feel like you can get to Hex KHARAZAD, that's totally fine. Okay. But if you're a new player, you're going to KHARAZAD earrings immediately. Okay. And you can leave these at try because the earrings, quite frankly, suck. Okay. I guess Pen does give you an extra, so just go throw them at Pen. Okay, just get a Pen. And I want to emphasize, this is going to take you a little bit of time. Okay. This is probably about 5 to 10 billion per accessory. 10 billion. I'm going to say conservatively 10 billion. Actually, on the high end, 10 billion accessory. Okay. Like 10 bill, that's a lot of time. Not really. Most of the time at this point, you're making like 1.1 to 1.3 billion silver an hour. So like 8 or 9 hours of grinding, boom, one of your accessories is done. 8 or 9 hours of grinding, boom, the next accessory is done. And you're kind of just working your way through. Okay, you're eventually going to move your necklace up to Pen as well. You always want to enhance your necklace first. So before you start putting these at Pen, you're going to put the necklace at Pen first, okay? And this is because it gives you 2 AP instead of 1. Okay, so you're 640 gear score now. And now you have to make the choice. Once you make KHARAZAD, you have to make cups for your KHARAZAD. They're accessory add-ons, okay? They give you extra additions. Right around 640, 650 gear score, that's when you want to go put the cups on your KHARAZAD. Okay, so as you make the KHARAZAD, in my opinion, just throw a cup on there. All right, just throw a cup on there. It's going to be a couple bill, maybe 2, 3 bill to put it on there. It's going to give you critical hit damage. It's going to give you HP for the rings. It's going to give you for the necklace. It's just going to give you, I think, HP. Yeah, 300 HP. For the belt, it's going to give you 3 AP and some damage reduction, 6 damage reduction. And for the earring, it should give you hidden AP plus 3 and some stamina. Okay. So like as you kind of make your KHARAZAD, you need to put these accessories on here, especially the necklace one should be relatively cheap overall. The ring cups are pretty big. Yeah, they're massive. They're massive. So again, as you get your KHARAZAD, throw the cups on them. Okay. At this point, you're oh, look at that. It's almost like Blue's done the math here. Exactly 309 AP. Oh, crazy. We didn't even have to get Vell's heart. Crazy. Okay. Now you're like, okay, it's probably time. You need to finish this up. Finish up your second Fallen God. Probably should be your chest piece, but you could make it your helmet as well. Okay. And right around this time is when you want to start like, okay, yeah, I need to pen my last piece of boss gear. And you want to start putting Caphras into this. Okay. But your boots you don't really need to do much with your boots. You can see how much you can wait on that, right? Right here, you're getting close to 700 gear score at this point, and that's the crazy thing. I'm going to tell you to get artifacts before your Vell's heart. Kabuas. Invest. They're cheap. Cheaper than Vell's, and they have more impact on your gameplay. The 40 damage reduction to mobs, and then the extra damage to mobs that you're doing with the stamina and everything, the Kabuas are insane. Okay, literally insane. Okay, so this is really good, and then we're gonna get our Vell's heart. Okay, and then we're gonna get our Vell's heart. We're gonna exalt our Vell's heart. It's gonna be amazing. All right. You just exalt the Vell's Heart. And what is exalted Vell's Heart? You put a little thing in it. It's like 10 bill. Boom, you get 4 DP. It's a joke. It's a joke. DP is super cheap in BDO. You can't go wrong. All right. At this point, again, you have enough AP. Once you're over the 309 bracket, guys, 305 is really the last big bracket. 309, though, is also a really solid bracket. You want to try to get over that 309 bracket. Once you hit that threshold, you're good to go. Crank your DP out. Let's finish out the Griffins. Okay. Pen offhand. No. No. Not yet. Jesus Christ. Okay. This is end up being C10 eventually, but you leave it at C9 until you're ready to get the flame. Okay. You're going to go grind for your flame at this point. Boom. Get the flame. Boom. Easy. Okay. Done. We pounded it out. Now we're over 401 DP. We saw the brackets earlier for a 1 is incredibly good. Can't go wrong. Now you're cooking. Now you need to look back at your AP again. All right. It's can we build AP and how? And I'll be honest with you, at this moment, your best upgrade is yes, AP and DP. This is where you want to pen the Blackstar. Okay. You're going to get a little bit more AP and you're going to get a bunch of DP and you're going to get some monster damage. Not that much monster damage, but a little bit. Really solid. That's when you want to pen the offhand or you want to go to C20 on your Kutum. Okay. All right. This is where we're at. This is also around the time that like you should already have like an end game crystal set up at this point, but you're getting really specialized with your crystals. Like if you're grinding, this is like Dekia. So like you could have demi-human, you could just go absolutely ape shit with your crystals. You should be giga spec'd out. You should understand the game. Like you're super gaming at this point. And now I will be honest. I think you need a little bit more AP. So I think you should just do this. 316 is kind of a good bracket. Hit that to hex, sure. And then hit your belt to hex, sure. Okay. Understand that everything at this point is just giving you 1 AP at a time. Okay. But you always enhance the necklace first because that's 2 AP. Better than Sovereign. Okay, Sovereign is a nightmare. We're going to talk about that in a second. Okay, so now we're at the 316 bracket. Perfect. Now we're going to do DP again. Boom. We're going to pump these to try. Okay. And I highly recommend you just pump all these to try. Pump them all to try. 426 DP. You're all set. You're basically going to be able to grind anywhere in the game. And then you can just pump AP for the rest of time. Okay. Because you're not going... Tet Fallen God is something you're not going to even look at until you're like at least Oct KHARAZAD. Okay. You're not even like all that shit. All right. Now, if you've been going to bosses, at this point, you're probably 6 months into the game. Okay. Some people reach this stage at 2 months. Depends on how actively you play. Conservatively, 5-6 months into the game. Okay. Actually, 4 months. I'd say 4 months into the game, you're looking at like Hex KHARAZAD with like Fallen God. Okay. At this point, you're basically pushing your AP one at a time. And you should probably be in position to get your Blackstar. I mean, your Sovereign weapon. Your first one. Okay. Sovereign is acquired in one of 2 ways. Like we talked about before, you combine 2 PEN Blackstars together. They have to be exactly the same. So you have to have 2 main hands, 2 awakenings. Offhand doesn't exist yet as of January 8th, 2025. But like, you have to have 2 of each one. Okay, you can't take 1 main and 1 awakening and put them together. It doesn't work that way. Okay, that is the expensive way to do it. The patient way to do it and the much cheaper way to do it is to get the flame. In order to get the flame, you have to go to world bosses. You go to world bosses, I think 3 to 5 times a week. I think it's 3 times a week. Every single week that you're playing the game, by the time that you reach this gear score, you should probably be at your flame. So you combine this with the flame that you got from all those world bosses. It's much cheaper. Boom, you're at Sovereign. 4 times. I apologize. 4 times a week. I think that your first Sovereign weapon, especially for like a Deadeye, again, follow the same train of thought that we had earlier for your Blackstars. Whatever I said earlier, whichever one I said earlier, you should take your first PEN Blackstar on. Yeah, you should do that for Sovereign too. Okay, so if you're a Succession class, you're taking the main hand. If you're an Awakening class, you're taking the Awakening Sovereign. If you are no one, well, I guess Offhand doesn't exist yet. And if you don't know what to choose, you pick the main hand. But like, generally speaking, by this point in the game, you should understand. There are crystals that you can put into your Sovereign weapon. You are going to put in down attack, back attack, critical hit damage, And from here, you can kind of do whatever. All AP is really good. You need to have all AP. That's an important one. And the last one's entirely up to you. Personally, I would say critical hit rate. Can't go wrong. But like, yeah, generally speaking, all AP is the most important. Critical hit damage is the next most important. Back attack damage is the next most, followed by down attack and critical hit rate. Okay. But yeah, there's 5 crystals that you can put in your KHARAZAD. Please also bear in mind that these KHARAZAD crystals, the reason you're going straight to these accessories is they give you more crystals. So when you get a KHARAZAD, it unlocks a crystal setup. Or unlocks a crystal slot. And each one of these crystals gives you more AP. So you have to go KHARAZAD. There is no choice. You're going to enhance your Sovereign. It's going to go to Tet. You should be able to get it to Tet basically immediately the moment that you get it. Look how much AP we get. Oh, big damage. Oh, much damage. Such wow. All right. Now we're going to pump AP still. We're going to keep pumping AP. It's going to be a while before you get your next Sovereign. And I want to point out, there's going to be a lot of times, well, how do I know what to enhance next? Like if all of my gear is pen, what do I enhance next? Always the necklace. What about Sovereign 2? Always the necklace. Necklace gives you 2 AP. Sovereign only gives you 1 AP at every upgrade, and it costs way more Cron Stones per upgrade to do that. The only benefit you get from Sovereign is what I'm going to show off right here. If you zoom in on your weapon, and it is at least pen, it will... God, just move it. Your weapon glows, and that's pretty cool. Okay. That's pretty cool. And I can hide my weapon. And it shows through your weapon skins too. Okay, so that's what it looks like without a weapon skin on for Deadeye there. Really, really cool. The rocket launcher, she just puts the rocket launcher away, so I can't really show you. But the rocket launcher glows too. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It gets an even better glow at Oct. So if you're really into like the RP and shit, like I am, Oct KHARAZAD is definitely a goal here. I definitely recommend putting it at pen so you at least get the glow. But like Oct is like even stronger. The glow looks like awesome. That being said, you're just going to start cranking. There's nothing crazy about this at all. Honestly, you can leave the earrings at pen, whatever. Crank everything to hex. Go sept here. Sept. Sept, sept, and at this point you're like, okay, now we can go to hex on our revolver here. Okay, once you're right around to go Oct, okay, yeah, sure, we can pump it to hex if we want to, or we can pump it to sept on the earrings. But you understand that the earrings are kind of garbo. The earrings kind of suck, but for continuity's sake, you're probably going to want to enhance those as you go, because then your gear wheel looks all pretty. Important. Around this time, you'll probably be getting your second Sovereign. Again, AP, hit damage, back attack damage, down attack damage. We'll put accuracy on this. We'll it. All right, at this point, you're 330 AP. Okay, you're over 330 AP. You can start looking at Wailing Fallen God if you want to, but honestly, not really. It's like whatever. Wailing Fallen God is like, it's not worth the effort. I'm telling you, as someone that has a Wailing Fallen God on, the amount of DP you're getting versus the amount of AP and how easy KHARAZAD is to enhance, it's just easier to get to Nuve in most cases for your KHARAZAD, basically universally. And once these are at Nuve, then you can look at Tet Fallen God. Okay, at this point, you're done with the game. Okay, and by the way, by the time those are Nuve, again, you're trying to keep up on your Sovereigns. You keep these 1 level, maybe 2 levels behind. They cost a lot more to enhance, and you're only getting 1 AP per. Okay, so like you're keeping them 1, maybe 2 levels behind your KHARAZAD at any point in time. But we're gonna put these at Oct for realistic sake, because that's where everybody wants to be for the glow anyway. Okay, so now we're looking at endgame. We're looking at Tet. Keep in mind, these are over 200 billion silver enhancements per one of these. Okay, like each one of those armor pieces could be about 200 bill. It's going to be obnoxious. These are extremely difficult to get, but you're done with your armor at that point. It is not going any further. Just don't talk to Leduc. That does not exist. Pen Fallen God does not exist in this dojo. Okay, and now you're done. Okay, you're just gonna deck everything. All right, you deck this, deck that. And you want to deck all your KHARAZAD before you deck your Sovereigns. Okay, you deck KHARAZAD, even the earrings. Fuck it. Does this give you an AP? It does. So deck literally all of your accessories, then deck your sovereigns. Okay, we're good. By the time you get here, you probably haven't had sex in the last like 4 years, and I applaud you for that. Okay, by the time you get to this, you're done. You've beaten the game. There is no further that you can basically go, with the exception of PEN Fallen God, which isn't worth it because they're going to come out with purple armor that you're going to be able to upgrade from the Tet. Almost guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. So this is what an end game build looks like in BDO. All right. So from here, you're like, okay, well, what do I have to spend my money on? In this case, there is one last thing you can buy. You can get this thing. This is probably going to take you as much time as all of the rest of this shit did put together, because of how ridiculously hard the Alchemy Stone system is to actually use. This is a much stronger Alchemy Stone, but it's extremely hard to get. Extremely hard to get. It's just not. It's not worth getting unless you're like Divios or Zethian, or you're like 700. You're almost 800 gear score, right? Okay. At this stage, you're basically finished with the game. Yay! Congratulations. Okay, I want to point out that if you're an evasion build, it's exactly the same thing as this. It's just that these are going to be green. Okay, so no real reason to go back over evasion, right? Really easy, really easy. Now, people ask about an all DR or an all DP build, so full DP meme setup. Okay, that's a good question, and we're gonna have to change the character for that. And I hate doing this, but we're gonna make it a Shy. All right, Shy is a little bit different. Okay, there's just a touch of autism. Okay, but we're gonna pretend that you're at an end game Shy build. Okay, this is we're already at end game because you're gonna have to progress the same way on a Shy. It's just that you're gonna build evasion every time. Don't be an idiot. Okay. Oh my God, no, not that one. Okay, so you're gonna build evasion every time on Shy. All right, and this is what your end game build on Shy looks like. All right. Now, when you go to build DP for a Shy, there's one of two ways that you can do it. And the first I'm going to explain is kind of the lesser used. Some people do like to do DR Shy. And these people are kind of mentally damaged. Okay. And they put the DR on like this. And then there's these things, there's these crystals. These. You can see these are very expensive. They take 25 sheet AP off, but they give you 25 damage reduction. Actually, 29 damage reduction, which is better than a cadre. Okay, so you can put on 6 of these bad boys. You're kind of cooking. All right, nothing's hitting you. You're not gonna have any AP, but you ain't gonna have any AP anyway. You're a DP meme. What do you care, right? So that is one way to approach it. Is to do DR here, DR here. I do not like this because I feel like Shy is much stronger with her evasion passives, and so will innately be weaker if you build her DR. However, if you're another class in the game, say not a Shy, and you want to build like a DR or really tanky DR build and just go full tank, say you want to be like a tanky Valkyrie, right? That DR build that I just showed you right there, that's doable. Just put on those DR crystals. Not going to do any damage, but like you'll be able to heal, support, and be a frontline tank like you kind of want to be. Not a very common thing though, so most people don't talk about it very often. Most builds that people are going to talk about when you're talking about DP memes is you're going to do the Moonlit River Necklace. Yay! This is really good, and it gives more evasion than the KHARAZAD. There is a KHARAZAD crystal that gives evasion too. Okay, it only gives 23 evasion though. Or actually, no, it gives 50 or 48 evasion, rather. 48 evasion. Okay, so there are some instances where you're going to wear a KHARAZAD and put that crystal on, and then there's other instances where you're going to put on this thing. So in this case, this is what? Slightly more. You notice that this gives 17 evasion plus 34. What is that? 44, 51, right? Evasion. So you're getting more evasion for the river neck. So you should wear the river neck instead of putting on a KHARAZAD. Okay. Likewise, for the belt, the Centaur belt is uniquely very, very good. You're gonna put on a Centaur belt because it gives you 60 evasion. It's really good. Okay. Now I think that the earrings, let's see. There is something called an ethereal earring, and I don't think Yeah, these suck. Yeah, you're not using these. You're going to use KHARAZAD. Okay, these... What about the Smoky Haze ring? What is this? That's garbage too. Yeah, you should put KHARAZAD on. All right, so you're just gonna wear KHARAZAD on the rest of your build, and you're gonna put on Evasion crystals. Okay, these 4 of them. You're gonna wear 4 of these. You're gonna have 4 KHARAZAD, and you're gonna put 4 Evasion crystals on, and then you're gonna wear the River Deck, and you're gonna wear the Centaur belt, and this, ideally, it's the defensive one. It's the protection alchemy stone. Okay. But if you're really cranking, like you're some crazy shy, you can get the really upgraded one. All right. Now you're wondering, well, this is what the end game build looks like, Blue. What should I do for an early game build? The same thing. Just, you won't have these at PEN. They'll be at like try. Just do the same thing. Just level it down. As long as you follow the same kind of algorithmic thing here, you do the 4 KHARAZAD up top, and then you do the 2 down bottom here, you should be just fine. Again, that's why I recommended the Resplendent Exalted Stone there is fine. Okay. If you were really having trouble getting the Resplendent Exalted Stone here, that's fine. You can get the Khan's Heart if you really want to, although I don't recommend it. Or you can get any sort of yellow alchemy stone is fine. Okay. All right. I believe that I have covered. Oh. And then there's artifacts. All Evasion artifacts. You only wear these in uncapped PvP. There's all Evasion artifacts. There's also all DR artifacts that you would wear if you were the DR version of this build as well. Okay. In terms of Lightstone setup, you're probably going to choose... Well, there's a couple different options that you can choose for Lightstone setups, but Blur, I think, is probably the just universally the best, and that's the one that most people use. Blur is very, very good. I forget what the exact setup is, but BLUR is the Lightstone setup that you're going to be looking at for an Evasion setup like this. Yeah, and you're good. You're never going to be hit. You're never going to die. All right, boys. Thanks for tuning in for my gear enhancement guide. Hopefully you found this helpful. Please give it a like, comment, subscribe. If you found it successful, check out my other content. There's 2 new YouTube videos every day. Yeah, I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.